Yo, what up, guys? This is the voice of Mr. Solution. So I want us to look at something which I discovered tonight. I was just fingering the chat. Sorry for, I don't know if that's the right word I should use now. I was just going through the chat this evening, and something caught my attention. And what caught my attention is the fact that, I never noticed that BTC formed a double top. This is a double top. And by the way, I'm using this is a weekly chart. So I'm analyzing this on a weekly time frame. That BTC formed a double top. This is called a double top. And yeah, whenever a double top forms, the next thing that happens is a correction. And definitely that's the correction we are witnessing. But that's not the thing. The next thing I noticed is that BTC actually formed a bearish pennant here, which escaped my attention, right? I couldn't see that. BTC formed a bearish pennant here. This is what I mean. This is a bearish pennant. Okay? This is called a bearish pennant. This is a bearish pennant. This. Okay, now this is the pennant. There is a pole. The pole starts from here. Okay, goes this way. Right? It starts from up there, ends here. Then this is the pennant itself. This is the pole. And the rule about pennants is that if you want to get the estimated move, if you want to get how far or how low the coin will go, you just have to take the measurement of the pole from where it started forming from to where the pennant started forming. Okay, this is the pole. I'm trying to make it straight. Initially it was curved, so I'm trying to make it straight. This is where it started forming, and this is the pole from here to here, and then this is where the pennant started forming. Now take the measurement of that pole, take the measurement of the pole, put it at the region where the breakout occurred. This is the region where the breakout occurred. Put it there. That should give you the estimated move. So if we are to go with this, it now means that there is a possibility of BTC coming to $10,000. I'm not, it's really scary. Yeah, it's scary. But this is what the chart is saying. But then I want you to also know that it's one thing for chart to say another thing. It is also another thing for the chart to the price action to display a totally different thing. But this is actually what the chart is saying. And look at this. This is a weekly chart. If you look at this, you see that we have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 red candles in a week, in 9 straight candles in a row. This hasn't happened before. You can see the previous corrections we've had. We've not seen a situation whereby 9 red candles formed at a stretch. It hasn't happened before. Look at it, just backdate the chart. You see what I'm saying? It hasn't happened before. So that's really what makes it a bit scary. Okay, that's what makes it a bit scary, that we've had 9 straight red candles in a row. 9 straight red candles in a row, coupled with the fact that we formed a double top here. So formation of a double top with this bearish pennants, okay, it makes it more lucid. Okay, it makes it more tangible that this correction might not really end anytime soon. And then we discover this bearish pennant, like as I pointed out here. This is the pole. This is the pole. Distance between where the pole started ended and where the pennant started forming. This is the pole. Remember, this is how we got it. The pole and then the pennant. Now take the measurement of that to where the breakout occurred. And if we are to go by that simple definition and simple meaning of simple price action of a bearish pennant, so we are expecting BTC to touch around 10,317. But please, I'm not saying it must, but this is what the chart is saying. This is what the weekly chart is saying. So if we go with this, that means we still have more scary days ahead. So everybody should be careful. Everybody should be prepared. Okay, so that's for the weekly chart. Now let's look at the daily. What's the daily telling us? What can we see from the daily charts? What's the daily chart showing us? Daily charts. Okay, I will have to expand this. let me remove this so it doesn't distract us. Okay, we have the daily chart here. Quickly get this. We have this. Okay. Okay, we have these. These more like the supports. This is support. We have the support here. Okay, so let's not consider this macro. Let's not consider everything here. Let's just focus on the now. So we have, for the daily chart, we have this. I have to make this, join it a bit more. Okay. Then we have this for the daily charts. We have this. Okay, which eventually broke down, and of course, this is still this is a bearish flag. Look at it. This is a bearish flag here. This is a bearish flag. Started from here, went down to this level. Went down to this level. Okay, the bearish flag is this. We have this that ended here. Okay, and then kept on forming, then broke down from there, broke down from that place, and this is where it is. Okay, this is where the breakdown occurred. This is where the breakdown occurred. Okay, it's really funny, right? Because even the daily chart, is still pointing towards that 10K. Yeah, the daily chart is still pointing towards that 10K. We just need to be very careful. We need to be very careful. I don't want to scare anybody, but I just discovered this thing tonight, and I feel it will really make sense if I should just keep it to myself. I need to share it with my community, right? So we have this bear flag that broke down here, and then this is the measured move, which is also pointing towards that same 10K we've always talked about. Okay, enough of that. Now let's focus on what is happening now. Let's focus on the now. Let's focus on the now. Focusing on the now, we'll be zooming this thing closely, zooming it. And then we also have this. Okay, when this breakdown occurred, we formed these as well. We formed these. We have these too. We have this here. We get it clearly. This is where the breakdown started occurring from. Okay, ended up here. Okay, stopped here, then started forming this, which is also called what? This is also a bearish flag. Started forming this flag, which is a bearish flag. So in the event that this one breaks down again, if it breaks down from this channel, here is acting as resistance, this is support. So in the event that this one breaks down, depending on where the breakout occurs, I don't know, I wouldn't know. So in the event that it actually breaks down, so there is a possibility of us revisiting 70K. That's for the daily charts. That's for the daily chart here. That's just what is happening now. We're overlooking the macro trade. We're just focusing on what is happening now, between distance between here and where this the flag. Sorry, this is the pole. Actually, this is the pole, and then this is the measured move before the flag started coming. So take it to wherever the breakdown occurs. So we are seeing 17K. So we just need to be careful that because everything is really pointing towards bearishness of the market. But please remember that this thing don't just have to occur once. In a bearish market, we still get a couple of relief bounces. We still get a couple of bullish moves, just micro bullish moves. But then macro, we are seeing that the trend is down. The trend is down. Everything is still pointing towards bearishness. Everything is still pointing towards bearishness. Of course, we've seen that the exponential moving average, 200-day exponential moving average is still below the price action is still below the 200-day exponential moving average, which to an extent tells us that this is a bearish market. There's no gainsaying the fact. I've taught us about the 200-day exponential moving average. I've explained immensely on that. So whenever the candles or whenever the price is below the 200-day exponential moving average, what it means is that the market is bullish. But if it goes above it, it means that the market is bearish, please. But if it's above it, if the price or the candles are above the 200-day exponential moving average, it means that the market is bullish. Right now, it's below it. In other words, the 200-day exponential moving average is above the price. Look at it. So you can see, look at the wide gap. Like the margin is so high. Look at the wide gap. Okay, so it's, even if he wants to correct, it still has a long way to go. So look at the gap. To an extent, the market is still bearish. Coupled with some of these bearish setups we've been seeing from the weekly to the daily. Okay, so from the daily, let's now go to the 4-hour charts, and even we've also seen the death cross occurs when the 50-day exponential moving average crosses the 200-day exponential moving average. But we don't want to use those indicators now. Just know that there is something called death cross, and that death cross occurred not long before now. So the price action is still what we are witnessing. So from the daily charts, let's look at the 4-hour chart to see what the 4-hour is presenting to us. So we just need to overlook the macro trend. Let's just focus on what is happening now. I'll be removing this. Okay, I'll have it off. Okay, so this is the 4-hour. Let me also remove the exponential moving average. Yeah. So we have this one here now. We have the same thing I talked about, the same bearish flag we have, but inside it, a couple of things have been occurring. We've been seeing lots of things. Let me change the color. This is the resistance, and then this is the support. This is the resistance, and this is the support. So we have this resistance, we have this support. Inside it, things have also been occurring. A couple of price actions have been taking place inside this very channel. We can actually call this a channel, because yeah, it is a channel. It's a channel, right? So even inside there, we still have another support and resistance. Okay, we have another support and resistance, but let's not focus on that. Let's not consider that one yet. So these ones need to touch each other. Okay, need to touch each other. Okay, so we have this here. This is the 4-hour charts. We have this. Now let's zoom it closer to see what is happening inside. Remember, I told us in one of the videos that it's possible for you to have a trend inside another trend. And that's basically what is happening now. We are seeing this is the macro trend on the 4-hour. Now there is another trend that has occurred inside it. And that is what we have here now. Okay, you see this. You see this. It got to this very place, went up. Okay, went up and got to this point now. So as it stands now, it's at a resistance. The BTC is currently facing a resistance. The last analysis I dropped, I told us that this pushed up, that the 4-hour candle pushed up, got to this very point, but couldn't close above it. Instead, it was rejected, now closed, and then the next one that formed couldn't even go above it. Look at where it closed. Look at where it closed. And now this is already printing red. And from my time check, it's 11:09. So around 12, yeah, around 12, this candle will close. Around 12, this very red candle will close. And in the event of this red candle closing under this, if it doesn't close above here, but instead it closes below, to all intents and measures, there's a possibility of us cascading down. There's a possibility of us still dropping down. So you need to be careful with your long trades and all that. You need to be very careful. So watching this red candle, this very 4-hour candle, and we just have less than an hour before this very candle closes. So if it closes below, so what it means is that we will keep going down. That's what it means. Now from the 4 hour, let's also look at the 1 hour chart. Let's look at the 1 hour chart. The price action has really been shitty. Now, market has just been ranging, not making any meaningful move and all that. It's just been ranging, and that's really what happens before. It's called the calm before the storm. That's really what happens before volatility comes into the market. Okay, when you use other indicators like the Bollinger Bands and all that, you start seeing all these squeezes. Okay, you start noticing all these squeezes and all that. So we don't need to, let's not worry ourselves with all those indicators which barely work. Okay, but then sometimes you need to use them for you to get a broader view, a broader perspective of what the market is doing. Sometimes they help, but you don't need to base your judgment off what the indicators are telling you. It's okay to focus on the price action because it can never deceive you. Indicators are always lagging. So let's just focus on what works. Okay, so we have these for the 1 hour chart, we have these as well. Just the same thing I pointed out initially. This is the channel. Now there is another channel that formed inside it. And now what we are trying to see is to know if, remember this is 1 hour and it's 11, that's 11 minutes after 11. So a couple of minutes to go. You need to also keep your eyes here to see where this very candle now, this very green candle that is forming, you need to open your eyes to see where it will finally close. Where will it close? Where will it close? Will it close above or below? If it closes below, that means we definitely need to start going down. And if you go down, where is the first support we'll be meeting? It's around 28,000. And it will not end there. It might not really end there. That's 28K. It might not end there. If this place doesn't hold, then we start going down to 27K. It's possible for us to still go down to 27K. That's if this very candle doesn't close above here. If it closes below, we have to drop. And it gets to this support doesn't hold, we still have to go lower. Remember, we have this week here, which I pointed out in one of the videos I shared. I've always said it that whenever I spot this kind of week, it's an imbalance. It's an imbalance. Markets, to an extent, usually respects it. It will always, no matter how fast it goes, it will always come back to maybe not at that same point, not at that same exact region, so to say, but maybe 20%. Okay, 20%. It normally corrects to it normally drops to correct that imbalance. So even if this doesn't still go lower again, you see, we have this drop here. There was a drop that occurred there. So this drop is actually enough to suffice for this drop, this week we had there. This very week we had there. This drop is okay. But then there's still a tendency. Remember what the weekly chart is telling us, that BTC is macro bearish plus the double top, which made it more lucid, right? So, and what is actually happening here. So I'm still saying that the tendency of us still dropping back to this weak region. We might still test 27K or even lower. Okay, so that's for the 1 hour. And finally, we have to go to the last time frame, which is the 15 minutes time frame, Going to the 15 minutes time frame, what do we have? Let's look at it. Okay, almost the same thing. All the time frames are pointing to the same thing. Okay, we have this as well, the same channel, inside channel and all that. Channels inside channels. We still have it here. Yeah, they can see the shitty price action that has been occurring here, not going up, not going down, just making a couple of up and down moves here. And like I said, the 15-minute candle, if it doesn't close above, starts dropping. Remember the target I said, 28K, 27K. These values are still feasible. And then on the macro level, we are seeing 17K and we are seeing 10K. So you just need to be very, very careful. Know what you're doing, especially if you are an investor and you have huge funds. What the essence of this analysis is to give you a broader view, a broader perspective of what the macro trend of the market is saying, so that you can be well prepared to, stomach whatever comes out of it. It's not compulsory that it will play out exactly. Nobody has absolute autonomy over what the market can do. But what these charts help to do is that they help to give us a broader view, a broader perspective, so that we can be well positioned in case it starts happening, so that we wouldn't be taken aback, we wouldn't be taken by surprise. All right, guys, this is just a little thing I want to share with you. Thank you so much. And if you've not subscribed to my channel, kindly hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you soon. I remain your friend, Mr. Solution.